What say? Is there any... We have both seen Delver's... How did the... You have walked the length of... You think... I was hard-pressed to find it.
I'm sure I have the...
Remember, a pet is a... Akira, you are sure to...
For what do you dally? There is work to be done below.
Sure.
I feel irregular, lighter, but there is an absence as well. The burden of this prison is lifted. I will return to the beloved Atra. Mercy. Only for those who showed mercy to me. The rest. Should your hopes darken on the high seas, you will feel a welcome chill as my shadow passes over your deck. Depend on it.
Captain, a word. When I joined the guild, I was a fish in a dream. Water Shapers were the keepers of our oldest covenant, protectors of history, heroes, I say. Now I see the guild only for what it has become. Ikera, a perversion of the oldest Juana art. If the guild cannot depend on its own teachings, then difficult. I do not want to tarry in this house of regret a moment long. My thoughts will be clearer in time. You are kind to listen, I say.
Onikaza will want your report, I say. Pariki should have known we could not keep a dragon forever.
Sure.
For what do you obey your harvest god with such devotion, friend Shodi?
What do you mean, why? Like there's an alternative?
The Juana gods are a jungle of choices, I say. If the fish displeases you, look to the bird.
Do you look for something in particular? Imp, go hang laundry. I'm only doing this for how you help Bertenno. Here, burn Archimede's manor down for all I care. What else do you need?
You look thirsty. A drink, sir?
You delight in touching exotic animals, Akira?
Me? I suppose. Much as the next fella.
Far from these shores lies a garden of anemone. What say we go together?
Oh, if that's those things that tickle your hands, I'll put the whole Aethys mission aside right now.
You return. What say, friend? Akira, you've restored to us a piece of our history. The Queen thanks you, my friend. We are a step closer to...
Hey, you the Watcher? Darkamir, the Great Master, has returned. Invites you to join him at the estate. Says you know where that is. I won't need to. He already knows. Find Master in his study. Don't be late.
Well, that was faster than I anticipated. I had hoped for more time to work with the Queen on her formal apology, but I will have to accelerate our plan. Thank you again, truly. This may be our most meaningful step towards Ukaizo. We just have to pray that Archimere doesn't put hexes on his belongings.
Well, let's hold out hope this is just a happy...
Why not? May Helia smile upon your endeavors.
Do not leave me in suspense, I say. Have you found Matario Cozy?
Yes? You need something else?
What madness has its clutches around Pariki's Overlook? The mountain shakes, bellows of anguish echo over the wind. And a shadow rose from the streets to cover Queen's Birth on its way to the sea. Now the traders look to me for answers I do not have. Nothing but panic and contradiction make their way to my ears. Tell me what happened. You do not jest.
About many things, Highness. Not this, I say.
For what did the Guild endanger my city with this creature? I will hear Myru's report. Pariki was a whaler before she took up Nagati's art. I say her largest trophy was a secret, well kept. Kahanga legends tell us that our ancestors made compacts with the creatures of the Deadfire. Send for Ranga Hauhua of the Wapua tribe. If she could soften the hearts of my cats, I say dragons are not beyond her.
Ikera, but I cannot believe... Highness, would you trap another of Ngati's ancient pets?
I would go any distance to protect my people. Can Nagati's chosen say the same? Speak on, Watcher. As surely as a tide swelling over the shore, I feel you are not finished. Then Pariki's students had an advantage in their lessons, I say. And Myru's after her, all at the cost of this beast's freedom. If water shaping is not as our ancestors taught it, we cannot reckon how much of the original form we have lost. What became of the dragon, Watcher, if the power of this beast strengthened our guild? What Pariki did was no kindness, I say. But her actions helped...
I am not feeling very sacred today, Highness.
Tekehu, what was the dragon but Nagati's gift to the Huana? You are out of practice interpreting your mother's omens. This is more valuable to me than every cannon in Rawatai. Thank you, Watcher. Akira, it will be a nightmare to appease traders and admirals seeking recompense for shipwrecks. But what is a queen if not the one to toss in her sleep while her people rest at ease? My water-shaping masters will arrive soon, and I say the guild will be stronger for their guidance. But a queen's work is not finished until she has endured all of Nagati's trials. I could send birds to every Ranga and rally them to our cause, but Neketaka needs more than strength. We need pure Huana fury. We need the Wahaki. My brother calls the Wahaki the last true Huana. He's severe on the Kahanga, but I do not call him wrong. The tribe hates all foreigners. Passing ships are attacked on sight, and explorers never make it back to the beach. I have hesitated to let the trading companies see my teeth, but those days are behind us. Filling the seas with Wahaki war canoes will strike terror in the heart of even Rawatai's Iron Fleet.
Are we still pitting cannons against canoes, Highness?
Cannons exhaust themselves after every battle cry. My warriors do not. Sail for the Isle of Oriokoiki and return when you have an answer from the tribe, whether fair or foul. The island lies northwest of Neketaka. There is a phrase which will protect my royal herald. Over crumbling mountains, across blighted seas. If you remember this, it could save your life. Write it down if you must, but recall it when the time comes. The Wahaki are not a trusting people.
Hello there. Come to have a word? I don't bite, I promise. Yes? Gladly, my friend. Gladly. And how kind of you to ask. I am the youngest son of a noble house. Now, don't make that face. Poor, desperate fool, you must be thinking. Well, waste not your sympathies on me. Truly, I consider it a boon rather than a punishment. All the comfort and none of the responsibility. What's not to like about that? What else brings faraway travelers to the archipelago? Adventure. As I was loafing about my father's estate, I thought, well, Gervard, isn't it time you made an... So here I am! And though I dare say I'm little use in a fistfight, I can do a fair bit of magic and draw a lovely map. So I've taken to charting the interior wilderness of the Deadfire's larger islands. Ah, but it's worth it for the stories I'll one day have to tell. But truly, if I could only inspire others as I myself have been inspired by those old... Anyway, enough of my prattling. Sure... Oh, it would be my absolute pleasure. For a price, of course. Very well.
What say, burglar? Thanks to you, I must negotiate with Arkemir for more security. We are the stewards of the Deadfire. Our How long does coral grow? It is said the tribes assembled when Kohopa took his first... Speak on. Neketaka is older than our memory. We found the great city... The Valians were very... When cannon shot echoed across the seas, the Crown opened negotiations with Rawatai's. My brother thinks I am too lenient with our visitors. First, the city is not how the tribes would live. Walls stand between neighbors, and the beach is too far to walk comfortably. There are angles of the city I cannot see from my garden. What place has Nekataka in the great pattern of the Deadfire? Bottoms seldom are, I said.
Do we still speak of the city? I have lost track.
Akira, my thanks for your perspective. I say you give me much to consider.
Hello, my lord.
A long time.
And I'm gonna ask for delay. I need to open it.
It took me a minute. I'm trying to. I've never heard anything like that before. Seems like what these data scientists.
Bobby Valentino was caught on tape running out of a hotel room with a transgender woman, and people felt like this was it. That wasn't news to me at all. The only news to me is that people didn't know Bobby Valentino. So they all thought there was a straight black man in Atlanta with a collection of plunging V-neck shirts. I mean, for me, the clues were everywhere. Look at his new album.
This is where we part ways. For the moment. I won't be away too long. Take some leisure time if you have to. Atsura will want me to report in alone. Sorry, I might not be back for a few days on account of this. I'm supposed to handle this one alone. I won't ask you to come along or get involved. When I said I won't ask, what I mean is you weren't invited. This is a one-woman, one-bird kind of job. If you miss me, chat with the fishman. I'm sure he's got some stories.
May you return with a good one.
Go have fun. Chase a god, save an island. Do what you do best, Captain. You as well. Just don't have too much fun without us.
Takehu, would you mind terribly if I touched your hair?
Of course not. Only touch gently, and they will return the favor.
Huh. That's what Angwer said when we were necking in the Merkberries.
I've got all sorts of goods and supplies. Take a look before you head back.
My hands are feeling better. Don't take this the wrong way, but I only crew with captains I know. I'm sure you're capable. Let's talk again with...
The name of this dude's new album is called Peach Moon. Well, a lot of us know that peaches are slang for vagina, and the moon somebody else will show you a butt. This album is an ode to butt vagina. This nigga clearly dabbles with anal sex. Don't get it twisted. This is not an anti-transgender video. I'm not dumbstruck. And honestly, I don't know why he has an issue with him. The only thing I can think of is maybe he tried to grab one by the butt and he felt a cat dog. You get it, cat dog, because
My favorite privateer. Clear
it's
skies.
sad we live in a society where people feel like they gotta hide who they are by. If that's how you get down, that's how you get down. Most gay dudes want a man. Bobby B, you want a man.
Will your mighty fortress protect you from the Adra Colossus?
Much better than wooden huts, my friend.
You cannot stand against such a force. For what do you squawk and gloat over a heap of stones? Akira, you Rowatayans are strange cousins indeed.
The Brass Citadel is a marvel of modern engineering. With the gates barred and the cannons primed, it can withstand any attack and weather any storm. Surely you can see what a fine stronghold this is. Please, spare us empty pleasantries. We transformed a rocky cove into the best defended harbor in Nekataka. Such achievements must be celebrated.
This rocky cove was once a prized fishing spot for the Riparu. These Rowatayans act as if every bare islet is merely awaiting a fort or a farm. They cannot look at anything without planning to change it.
To strive is to survive. Those who would achieve greatness must make the world a better, more ordered place than they found it.
Why change the world when you can learn to live in it the way it is? This is what my people have done for thousands of years.
And we'll all return to the wheel, but that doesn't stop us from living a full life now.
Akira, nothing invigorates like a good discussion.
All-bodied people, all Rowata, to many lands you spread. Heed the call of the Ragadui. His voice shall fill your sails.
Sure.
Good to see you again. Oh, all the time. Where's my white leaf? Stop! All this time, I didn't realize she knew my name. I really wish I could. Maybe if you impress her or Atsura, they could make an exception.
The former Lord of Cadnua and one-time Terrifier of Harbor Masters. If dockside tales are to be believed, other than Hasongo, you have not brought much good news of late. So, in addition to pirates, profiteers, and slavers, the Deadfire has a vengeful god roaming its waters?
He puts a lot of weight on that front leg, and he did not seem to have an answer for those low kicks. And that is just a fucking new element of the game that seems unstoppable, because you can only take a couple. You know, Khabib was saying that when he fought...
If your report is true, he's stumping port towns into craters. I don't much care why he's doing it. He must be stopped.
I told Jimmy, Dustin's brother, after the first round, he just gave it away. Dustin and Mike Brown, they were to stay on that calf kick. They already knew it was working, but he didn't sit down in between rounds. He didn't want it to flow back up. Yeah, I noticed he didn't sit down. He didn't sit. Yeah. I'm like, that's damage. It's damage. He just gave it away. He went after that leg. Well, this was obvious anyway. He was trying to grab the leg after he got kicked. He wasn't checking it. When he was checking it.
If there were help to be found at the palace, do you think Deadfire would be such a mess? The Valians won't lift a finger if it isn't to snatch a coin, and the Huana will barely do that much.
No? Tell it to the water shapers who washed your stranded boats from sandbars, Hasanui.
No one takes charge to solve the big problems. But perhaps we could work together to our mutual benefit. Look around. Deadfire's full of fertile, temperate islands. Except for Andra's mortar. It's largely free of rough weather. Yet much of it is uninhabited. Itinerant tribes drift between some of the islands, and smugglers and slavers cluster around the rest. It's a waste. Imagine what this place could be, with well-guarded shipping routes. How many Rawatayans we could feed with plantations here.
It's also like, he needs a redemption. And here's the thing about
The Valian Trading Company wants to leech every last coin they can from the Deadfire, no matter the eventual cost. They're little more than thieves. The Principi are actual thieves, no matter their pretensions of nobility. And the Juana are happy to let them all pick away at their fractured empire.
Where you see fractures, I see the lines of age.
Lines big enough to sail the Valian fleet through. We're interested in building something here.
It's tough to make that argument when you've got Charles Oliveira, who I think is...
Glad you agree. If you're chasing the god who's stomping this place into the ground, and if you're going to survive here, then you could use an ally. You've already helped us immensely at Hasongo. Once repairs are done, we can resume much-needed shipments from the farms back to Rawatai. It's also a welcome indication that someone around here can get things done. I hear you recently traveled to Poko Kohara. Something you did there cleared the storms. Makes a person wonder what kind of secrets lie in Andra's mortar. That's the spirit. Rautai's storms have made us who we are as a nation, but they've also held us back. Forced our people to seek resources and livelihoods far. Imagine how much more we could achieve if we could control those storms.
John Jones has a better resume in terms of the accomplishments, but Khabib has a better resume.
Why not? The storms there cannot be natural. Not when they are so ferocious, so constant. And your exploits at Poko Kohara suggest that... But enough of that for now. The trouble in Hasongo forced us to send additional ships back to Rawatai to make up for... And storms at home have delayed another portion of our fleet. This leaves us short-handed here.
Amazing flight, right? It's just that good. But I believe that the guys that he's beaten, and look at the overall talent depth.
We're due to collect a special shipment for delivery to our port at Sayuka. We've contracted with a captain named Riddler. Meet her, complete the trade, and take the cargo to Sayuka. Fleet Master Okaya is overseeing the development of some special projects there. She's one of the brightest minds in Rawatai, and it shows. You two will get along. Most of her work is, or should be, under wraps for now. But perhaps she can give you a taste of what we have to offer. Let's just say, I'm not keen to invite them to a port where we're developing experimental technologies. Along with half the population of this storm-tossed... I know you've had several run-ins with the Principe already. Maybe Whitlow'll think twice before crossing you. Good sailors with a fast ship and no mind for questions. Any other questions? Whitlow's agreed to meet our courier out at sea, away from the heaviest traffic. This is her payment. We've already... Fleet Master Okaya will see to your compensation once you arrive with the cargo. This is the kind of job that's best completed quickly and quietly. I'm counting on clear skies.
and to my tribe, the Water Shapers were keepers of the past, our connection to the ancestors. How the Guild heaped praise on Ngati's chosen. How they congratulated themselves for acquiring me, I say. My cage was a gilded one. Their dragon, he was not so lucky. The Guild teaches a likeness of Ngati's art, for shame. But they posture before outsiders like masters of old. To inspire the world with Ngati's gift. This is my calling. None of this changes how I feel when I practice the forms. Like swimming over an ocean trench, I say. But Pariki twisted my art into a perversion. An echo of what it should be. The Guild must change for the Huana to grow. I say that as Ngati's message delivered through her son's mouth. I will bring a change not seen since the days of our ancestors. Our legends speak of the covenant with Ngati, one that defined the tribes for generations. The ancestors gave her unwavering devotion, and she gave them a gift. Losing Ukaizo severed our connection to the gods. Over time, their gifts diminished. The tribes have never needed Ukaizo more. With Ngati's blessing, I would bring Ukaizo to them. An island, a city, a dream. The best of our people, before Cataclysm buried it under ash and waves. Others call it the heart of the Huana Empire. More still, call it home. I say it is obvious now that Ngati brought me into the world to do this for the Huana. Whatever we find, what better crew than friends to find lost Ukaizo on treacherous seas? Akira?
I'm glad we got him excited. Makes me...
Did you hear that? We're friends, him and I.
Captain, you have let the handsome fish do all the talking. I needed this. Thank you. Ikera, let us be off.
My handsome fish is intimidated by his own potential. How upsetting for him. See the anxiety that takes shelter behind his confident smile? He has worn that since he was old enough to swim. I could always plant the Covenant in his dreams, but that would spoil the fun of Ukaizo. My final test for the Huana. Help him to rise up from crawling. Help him to stand and walk as a man, as a god.
Still with us, Captain? I had no desire to bore you with my inane chatter.
So what happens if you dry out too?
If it isn't...
Alright, here we go. Kid from Kid and Play, aka Christopher Reed. Welcome back to the Come on, man. Come on, man. Your third appearance. It is my third appearance. That's right. I'm doing something right. There you go. There you go. What's good, bro? Well, let's go ahead and just start with a couple of things that are sort of timely. And I think in terms of you, the most prominent thing is the Salt and Pepper biopic. Yeah. Now, is it biopic or biopic?
It's impossible
I
to
don't know.
treat a
We're arguing
positoro.
about this beforehand. I said biopic, you said biopic.
He acts like he's gonna do one thing, then he does something else.
That's called strategy. And don't you work for Atsura?
You and Salt and Pepper actually go way back. Crazy. Before any, yeah, I mean, they were famous first. Before any of us were famous, right? So we just worked together. At Sears. Yeah, we worked together at Sears and Alton, as depicted in the movie. And, you know, we all knew each other. You know, Herbie was dating Cheryl Saul. You know, we all used to hang out. And, you know, all this was prior to working with Herbie, making records and stuff like that, and then our turn and whatnot. But yeah, those are our sisters. They helped us out so much back in the day. But it all just started out. We were just kicking it. Like, yo, that's my home girl. You never try to holler? No. You had to think about it for a second. No. I mean, no. Nah, it wasn't. I mean, like, when we got introduced to them, like, kind of like, yo, this is Herbie's girl. You know, that's Herbie's girl. You know, and Sandy was, you know, she was just like Sandy and me. Sandy and me, we connected like on the Jamaican tip. My family Jamaican, my family Jamaican. You know, and it was like brothers and sisters.
Clear skies.
Just cool like that. What was it like seeing these two girls that you're working at a call center and suddenly become the biggest female rapper?
That explains the rumors the Valians are scaling up in Queen's Birth. I'd hoped you would stop them.
Look, while you're going through it, you know, while we're living, you don't really realize it. You know what I'm saying? We got a front row seat to all of it. But it's something, it was really kind of weird when I watched the movie. When you see it all laid out like that, and you just realize, like, wow.
Nevertheless, I'm more interested in reports the storms around the islands have cleared. What do you know of this?
Kind of emotional, like, there was just things I remembered, and I was just like, wow, man. So I like turned to the side, and she was like, motherfucker, are you crying? I'm like, oh, it's the incense. What made you cry? It was a couple of moments. I remember one of them was, I think it was a scene where Herbie was trying to explain something to Saul. You know, like, here's how you do it and that. And I remember that same conversation. Like, the thing about it, Herbie doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Like, he taught us everything. He was the one with the vision. We didn't have the vision. We're all goofing off. I'm in school, plays working. Cheryl and Sandy are in school and don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? Everybody's kind of aimless. He had the vision, and he gave us the vision. He told us his vision, and we bought it. And I just remember some of those conversations at the beginning just hit me, and I'm just like, can you fucking believe it? Like, we're all famous? All of us. We're all fucking famous. Because of Herbie. He made us famous. He helped make us famous. I wouldn't be famous otherwise. I might be. That's cool. You know, I was going to school. I was supposed to be a lawyer. My father thought I was going to be a lawyer. I started doing this hip hop. He's like, what is this jungle music? Shit. You know what I'm saying? Old school Jamaican.
Even if this isn't the outcome we'd wanted for Poco Kahara, your observation is infinitely more valuable. Take this. We'd long suspected something unnatural was behind the storms, but we had little evidence.
You know, they were vocals, you know, because I was just like, so like, taught me how to write, taught me how to read.
Yes. If the storms that assail Rawatai have a similarly unnatural origin, then perhaps they too can be stopped. And if that's the case, then there's more work to be done. Work that you might be able to have. After all, somebody has to keep the peace in these tumultuous times, no? In any case, I understand Karoo has you occupied with other matters. I shall leave you to them.
And I remember saying to myself, I'm going to be like a nice manager, nice producer. And that's what I did. And then everything was trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and Steve Stout had groups. Really? When we first started our game. When I first got in the game, I put him in the game. Really? And we had groups.
Choose a weapon and get ready to bring the pain.
My hands are feeling better. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm sure. Let's talk again.
Journalists have been uncovering all kinds of gems about, Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, both from her past comments and what she's been doing on Facebook. This latest one has her casually flirting with some 9/11 trutherism. Let's take a listen to that.
We witnessed 9/11, right? We witnessed 9/11, the terrorist attack in New York, and the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania, and the so-called plane that crashed in on the Liberty as it showed from a plane. But anyway, I'm not going to dive into the 9/11.
I actually would give anyone a pass for buying into one big conspiracy theory at some point in their lives. But, she believes all of them. She believes 9/11 trutherism apparently.
The belly of the great eel roars with hunger. Will you help Barati to calm it? With joy, not hunger, does the great eel lash its mighty tail. The Sheila has sated the beast for now. The jaws of Tangaloa gnash about a Rawatine captain named Ohio. His cannon fire echoes in the ears of slumbering gods. The beast cries out for a more restful Deadfire.
That's why I think this is going to be much more.
Akira, you chose wisely. Ohio sails the junk Stone Anchor south of the Kua-o-Rukuhu island chain due east of Nikitaka. The gods will ask, but do not.
On that, I'm just, very clearly showing you what the state of the play, state of the race is. And the way that we know this is that Trump himself, let's look this up there on the screen, called Marjorie Taylor Greene amidst all of this and said that she has his full support. That's right ahead of the meeting. This particular meeting has been prompted as violence against Nancy Pelosi or to some
Got it.
This playing out over the next couple of years in so many different ways, which is that the people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, yes, believe all this crazy stuff, are also the biggest Trumpists who are within the party. And Trump, because all he does is measure loyalty to himself as the barometer of whether you're good or not, is going to keep them solidly popular. And then at the same time, the only critics are like Mitt Romney and Rob Portman, who have no credibility within the GOP. I saw, for example, that George W. Bush may go and campaign for Liz Cheney in Wyoming. That's negative. That would guarantee more Republicans come out just to say screw you, W. So it's the crisis of public confidence that the Republican elite has zero credibility with its base, and the only people with credibility really is Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that's a problem.
I mean, she is a crazy person. And, let me just be clear about the Liz Cheney. I'm not trying to defend Liz Cheney.
Right, exactly.
I can't stand Liz Cheney politics. She's a warmonger. If you want to criticize her on that, fine. But that's not the thing that she's taking heat of. She's taking heat of the fact that she dared to be like, hey, you know what? President inciting an insurrection at the Capitol was really not a great look for a president. I think we should probably do something to make sure we don't repeat that again. That's what she's taking heat for. Not from any, terrible issue positions that have been destructive and damaging to American Republicans. And that's the other thing about Marjorie Taylor Greene, is that her crazy conspiracy theories and total Trump fealty is all that being on the populist right in Washington has come to mean. Because her politics are terrible. She buys in all this,
Welcome back, welcome back. How might I assist you? I could not have hoped for a better partner in this endeavor. Your well-deserved pay, of course. Why stop here? We're making good headway, and you've certainly proven yourself. I'm sending you far out west this time. Past Port Maje, past the Wakara Reef, and even the Kangati Islands. Nobody's been out that way in ages. All manner of dark stories. I'm sure you'll be fine. I'll be waiting.
And that has increasingly, over time, diminished the Republican Party and diminished the Republican Party's appeal to anything beyond the sort of smallest hardcore base. And I think that trend is ultimately just going to continue here.
Yeah, I agree. Which is that people were willing to stick with him, but the riots actually were the one thing that pared everybody back. And
all right, where are you with that?
No problem.
I trust you had no trouble finding the place? Nekitaka is either a testament to the ancient Huana's love of labyrinths, or their hatred of straight lines. Sadly, I did not invite you here for a discussion of city planning. I warn you to stay your hand and treat with me better than you did poor Consulate. Glengrath, gone as well. Your dealings with the Circle are stained darkest crimson. I wonder, but let us get to the business of the... My estate was recently burgled. My vault breached. How very pleasing to hear an honest admission.
You alright? Why are you just staring at me like that weird?
At the Circle's behest, I'm expected to show restraint in these dealings. You managed not to rouse a peep out of my servants. If nothing else, the lack of disruption is appreciated. I am less pleased about the Harappo epic resting in the hands of those who lost it once before. Did I ask a question? The Circle of Archmagi wishes for us to put this unpleasantness in the past with a gesture of good faith. The Circle has expressed concerns about a certain mobile deity. The Deadfire is a fragile place, and a blundering soul drain like Aethys can damage more than just castle keeps. Indeed, it isn't our desire that you apprehend the deity. That simply isn't practical. We need your help in preparing for the worst possible outcome.
Normally, the Circle's involvement constitutes the worst possible outcome. Or have you already forgotten the Blackwash Falls incident?
Kalakoth replaced the water. What more do you desire? An apology? We do not worry. We measure, and the resulting value dictates action. You are only involved because it is advantageous for knowledge of the Circle's involvement to remain discreet. The wizard Bikana installed an observatory due northeast of Nekitaka. For your absolution, the Circle asks that you locate her research. She vanished from academic research, and therefore her livelihood. All signs point to her lab being abandoned. That the Circle's concerns are utterly unfounded, of course. No doubt you'll recognize the appropriate documents. You have an eye for valuables. fair warning. A vessel flying the sigil of the Torn Bannerman set a course for the observatory. I have every reason to believe they travel armed. Did I inquire after your personal history? My interest begins and ends at a single point. That someone of great means desires abandoned arcane research. Research which we disregarded. Come back alive. Or not at all. Now, if you don't mind, I have a manor to restore. And a security system to reevaluate.
explore strategies to limit that cable news network, the rival network, of course, to CNN's reach. Let's take a listen.
Dishonest cries of censorship are filling Fox's airwaves with charges that these guys, right here, are being suppressed. The word censorship's been invoked almost 400 times on Fox this month alone, and more than 300 times on Newsmax. You know, post-insurrection, a book publisher decided that it did not want to be in business with Senator Josh Hawley. So he's been on a national TV tour claiming he's muzzled. And Tucker Carlson is telling viewers that this network, CNN, is trying to force Fox News off the air, which is patently false. But reducing a liar's reach is not the same as censoring freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is different than freedom of reach. And algorithmic reach is part of the problem.
So here to discuss is journalist Zed Johnny. Zed, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Sire.
So, Zed, let's start with this, which is the central premise of Stelter's monologue was that, you know, the cable carrier companies removing Fox News from their carrying capacity would not be the same thing as silencing Fox News. Now, that's obviously ridiculous, but it's couching it in the language of freedom of speech and therefore case law. So what do we know about that?
Yeah, it's really interesting because this slogan that you use, in particular, freedom of speech is not freedom of reach, is the kind of thing that you find in where the internet and people arguing against we ignore it, but it's not always found its way on CNN. And it does actually go against much of what we thought about freedom of speech in the U.S. traditionally, because if you look at court cases, for instance, whether it's things like free speech, quote-unquote free speech zone at the universities that have been rolled back, or deciding when someone can protest, or talking about public employees' right to speech, it always comes down to a court deciding whether or not something is a reasonable kind of accommodation for speech. So that means that if you're reducing someone's speech, it actually can be a violation. It's not that it's only a violation of speech. The government comes to your house and arrests you for saying something you get like in your closet, or you're dead or something, right? It's also about allowing reasonable ability to express yourself. I mean, even in the case of when Trump was on Twitter, when he blocked people, he was taken to court over that, and they found that to be a violation of free speech, right? Just to be able to read what a government official was saying. So I think that, he has, Stelter has constructed a very narrow definition, primarily for the purpose of censoring his political opponents, right? I mean, we just had a military in Myanmar. One of the first things we did was CNN and BBC from the air when it no longer wanted those media networks. So under Stelter's definition, that's not loaded freedom of speech, right? CNN and BBC still exist. Someone can still find them. Maybe they go to their website or something, but they've been taken off the airwaves, right? That's they could easily repeat the same maxim that Celtics did. They were just producing their speech. They're still speaking. They're not in jail or anything, but obviously it's, here's a very easy definition of something. It's not deciding what you want. Celtics want it or you want, although, but people get to this and point that out, you watch very much Fox News for election experience. But that's deciding what other people That's what he's talking about.
That is one of the points here, and actually what Greenwald got a little bit of a back and forth with Brian Stelter about the topic, which is worth taking a look at. But, it's the same sort of concern if you accept Stelter's argument, which you don't. But even if you did, the same concerns and charges he's leveling against Fox News could easily be applied to CNN as well. So they really like the road that Stelter is ultimately putting them on here.
I mean, that's exactly the case, because you have to understand there are already some people, for instance, there are positive polls by non-political people that are related to some kind of injury they suffered. A good case of that would be the Covington Catholic story, right? Where CNN and other networks blew up a teenager who was a nobody, kind of misleadingly told the story of an argument he had on a Capitol Mall. And CNN ended up paying some money to him because they were sued related to libel. And I think, and slander. So there are some tools available to people to deal with networks like repeatedly lying, maybe causing some monetary damage or some form of injury. And those tools have been used how great of a job he's doing, right? You could very well argue that CNN was misleading a lot of people about how a top public official was managing the single deadliest thing that was happening in the United States.